Welcome back once again to Blankenship Field. The Oak Ridge High School Band getting into their positions here. We're about to have football for you here on the turf at Blankenship Field. For those of you who did not come out to the ball game tonight, we will not be back here until I believe the 15th or 16th of October. That's the next time we have a home ball game, so a lot of road games and an off day in between, so you still have plenty of time. Should be a great ball game tonight.
Yeah, David, and it's an opportunity when we do come back, we get to play a team that we've only played once in Mountain Julius, so that'll be an interesting game to come back for from all these road games we're going to face.
Next week, the Wildcats will be traveling to Farragut for a Thursday night ball game. The following Thursday, the Wildcats will be at West, and then Oak Ridge has Clinton and Carnes to close out their road schedule, and then they're back at home, as James said, against Mount Juliet, against Powell, and against Fulton. That's your 2020 season. And here we go. The Wildcats will be kicking off. It'll be Dunham to kick off for the Wildcats. Tyler Dunham, number 81. Pop-up specialist. Let's see what he does, the way he's aiming it. It looks like that's what we're going to have to start this ball game here at Blankenship Field on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. It's going to be a new-look offense tonight, James. Get ready for that. As the Wildcats pop it up over to the sideline, a fair catch is made, and the Campbell County Cougars will take over at around the 32-yard line, and that is where they'll take over 1st and 10. The quarterback for Campbell County is 6'2", 177 pounds. He is Hunter White. He is a junior. The running back will be C.J. Allen, 5'9", 180-pound junior. They like to air it out. The Price brothers have done that ever since they've been up there as the Cougars come to the line. Moving away from Jackson Square, 1st down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats wearing their all-gray jerseys tonight, their gray pants, their white numerals, Campbell County in their white, orange, and blue. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Hunter White at quarterback. He's going to pass on 1st down. Across the way, pass is incomplete. In and out of the fingertips of the intended receiver, and it'll be Shanks, the intended receiver. Mason Shanks, 6'2", 200-pounder. It's incomplete. 2nd down, 10 yards to go.
Yeah, David, the quarterback there for Campbell County looked to the left side, which was the short side of the field, the home side of the field. Who was wide open, I believe, was number 3 for them at the slot on the opposite side.
They have 3 receivers split to the right, 2 men to the left, nobody in the backfield, along with the quarterback, Hunter White. 11:56 to go here in the first quarter. We are just underway from Blankenship Field, and it's going to be a long one if Campbell County is going to take as much time as they possibly can to get the playoff here. It'll be 2nd down, 10 yards to go. As I mentioned, they're going to pass again. Look, pass across the way is... Before that, a flag goes down. Let's see if we had a delay or if somebody was offsides or somebody moved. It looks like they're going to step 5 yards off against Campbell County. So, despite the fact that they took about, 35 seconds to get the playoff, they still are penalized.
Yeah, David, and I think that was one of their problems against Carter is they just kept getting penalized and kept getting backed up. One thing that Campbell County likes to do is they like to count how many people are inside the box and see if it's a better option to run or to pass there.
Once again, 3 receivers to the right of the quarterback. Once again, the Price brothers signaling in the play. We have played 6 seconds of this ball game, and it has taken about 5 minutes. And it'll be 2nd down and 15 yards to go for the Campbell County Cougars. And just like that, they haven't a clue what they want to do, and they have to call a timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back here once again at Blankenship Field. Campbell County finally is ready to go. 2nd down, 15 yards to go. Hunter rolls to his right. Lots of pressure. Almost sacked. Fires one pass. Almost intercepted by Jaden Elam off his fingertips. The Wildcats got heavy pressure. I believe it was Jacob Irvin who came in there really, really strong. Almost got to Hunter White, but incomplete. 3rd down, 15 yards to go facing the Campbell County Cougars.
Yeah, David, and I think the defensive line for the Wildcats has a lot of responsibility tonight to get going and put a lot of pressure on Campbell County. It doesn't seem as White is very good on the roll and can't throw very well on the run, and so that is the key to get him off schedule and not allow him to be comfortable.
We're now 12 seconds into the ball game. 3rd down, 15 yards to go for Campbell County. They're down to 22 seconds on the play clock. Back to pass, has some time, breaking down now, wants to run, goes deep down the field, passes up for grabs, intercepted by Elam. Elam for the Wildcats at the 40, moves the ball to the 45-yard line, to the 50, to the 45, down to the Campbell County 40, Well, it'll be 1st and 10. Oak Ridge flags are down in the secondary. There was a collision between the receiver and the defensive back. Hopefully, it's not going to be pass interference.
Yeah, David, I think that was a 50-50 ball. I think this may be on the return, maybe a block in the back or something like that, maybe even a horse collar tackle when they were trying to take Jaden down. But great play there by Jaden Elam, his 2nd interception of the year. First one at Hardin, had one last.
The officials are having a long discussion right at the 40-yard line. So after all of that, they throw an interception. The Wildcat offense will come onto the field, and the quarterback will be Oak Ridge's Mitchell Gibbons. So 2 penalties on the return, both against Oak Ridge. They accept one of them as the Wildcats come on. You might check out some of the changes here at the slot position. As you mentioned, Preston Turner is going to get the start. Mitchell Gibbons is the quarterback. The running back, Jabryce Taylor. We'll talk about him in a moment. 2 receivers split to the right for the Wildcats. Jonathan Stewart split to the left. Quarterback Mitchell Gibbons fires the pass. Jonathan Stewart makes the catch, and he moves the ball forward across the 40 up to around the 44-yard line. Positive gain. I thought Jonathan was beating himself up, I think, all week. He had a few drops in that ball game. We know he's a sure-handed receiver, and I think it's good to get him started right like there. An 8-yard gain for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and I think what's really good for that as well is you see the Wildcats spread it out a little bit. In fact, you got 3 receivers to the right now and 1 to the left. So a little bit more of the last type of formation you've seen in the previous few years.
Jabryce Taylor is the running back. 3 receivers split to the right. Once again, Mitchell's going to hand it off to Jabryce. Jabryce tries to get outside, dragging a tackler up to the 45-yard line. It's close to a first down, but it's going to be short. It'll bring up 3rd down and a yard to go. Last week in the ball game against Kingsport, Dobbins Bennett, Kendall kind of tweaked his ankle just a bit, did not practice that much this week, is available if they need him, but I think for the most part they would like to hold him out if at all possible.
Yeah, David, and one of the things that you're seeing here is Walker Rice, his helmet came off on that play, so he had to go out. So the Wildcats bring in, I believe it is number 72, which is Lucas Nick.
I was about to say Nick Lucas, I believe. 3rd down, 1 yard to go, 10-16 to play first quarter, scoreless game. Double wing set once again for Oak Ridge. Mitchell looking at a blitz. High snap, fires a pass, quick pass caught by the Wildcats, and that is a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. Jonathan Stewart makes the grab. Really smart play, I thought, by Mitchell. They were coming in with a blitz, and just a quick pass. Wasn't going for the home run, just picked up the first down.
Yeah, and again, like you said, get Jonathan and these other receivers a little bit of confidence going early. You know, the defensive backs for Campbell County are playing off. They're not right on the line of scrimmage, so it's easy pitch and catch, a little 5-yard route, and let Jonathan get 2 or 3 extra.
1st and 10 Wildcats, 9:49 to play first quarter, scoreless ball game. Mitchell Gibbons, senior quarterback. Man comes in motion, that's Preston Turner. Jabryce Taylor has the call, moves the ball forward to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of only about a yard. Not a whole lot of yardage there on the left side. Gain of 1. 2nd down, well, actually closer to a 2-yard gain. We'll call it 2nd down and a long 8 to go for a first.
Yeah, David, a nice little run there by Jabryce. You see the Wildcats, the previous 2 plays have been in a little bit of a double wing set. So going back to what we've seen a little bit more throughout this year and with a little motion from Preston on that.
9:13 to play here, first quarter. 2nd down, we'll call it 7 yards to go. Mitchell's going to pass. Pass is caught. Preston Turner across the 40-yard line. Moves the ball forward to the 38-yard line. That is a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. Preston Turner with his first reception of the night.
Really nice job by Preston. And again, just another little short route. Get Preston and get Jonathan Stewart and Mitchell Gibbons all a little confidence as they go here. Notice on that play, they had 3 receivers to Mitchell's right and spreading it out a little bit, and Wildcats using their speed a little bit more.
Kind of taking a page out of the Campbell County playbook with their controlled passing game.
Yeah, very much so, and we'll see Campbell County do the same thing.
First down, 10 yards to go. Oak Ridge at the Campbell County 38. Quick pass. Nice catch. Preston Turner makes a cut to the middle part of the field. Moves the ball across the 30-yard line down to around the 26-yard line. And I believe that should be enough for another 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. Really nice catch there by Preston Turner. It was not the greatest pass in the world. Preston kind of snared it with his left hand and pulled it in and picks up a first down.
Yeah, David, I don't know which one's more impressive, the catch or the nice little juke move that he put on the outside linebacker. He just stuck his left foot in the ground really hard, cut right back to the inside and picked up a first down.
This is a regional ball game. The Wildcats trying to get to the playoffs. Once again, that's the goal every year. The goal is actually state championship. You can't do it unless you get to the playoffs. 1st and 10 Wildcats. In motion once again goes Preston. Jabrise Taylor with the handoff. 25, 20, 15, 10. Makes a move. Cuts to the inside of the 5-yard line all the way down to the 3 where it'll be 1st and goal. Oak Ridge on another 10 Bank of Oak Ridge. First down.
Really nice job there. The Wildcats just sent Preston Turner in motion back behind, causing the defense to go a little bit to the right of the formation. Handed off left to Jabrise Taylor. Huge hole by the offensive line there for the Wildcats.
First down, goal to go for the Wildcats at the Campbell County 4-yard line, heading towards Jackson Square, wearing their all gray jerseys, gray pants.
Jabrise Taylor, touchdown Wildcats. Incoming 10 yards. The kick is good.
He is 6'2", 177-pound junior. And they'll come to the line. 2 receivers split to the right, 7:23 to play. First quarter action here at Blankenship Field. The Cougars from the shotgun, 2 receivers split to the left, 2 to the right. Once again, this play is signaled in. The play clock down to 13 seconds. Campbell County takes an eternity to get the plays off here. Finally, up to the line they'll come. First down and 10 yards to go. Here comes the handoff to the running back. Tries to get wide, cannot. Moves the ball forward, back to the 30-yard line. Not a whole lot of room there at all, as it's a gain of 2. Second down and 8 yards to go. 7:09 to play. We're in the first quarter in a 7-0 ball game here at Blankenship Field. The game you're listening to on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. Wow. I don't know. It's annoying to watch Campbell County's offense because they come to the line, then they stop, they look over to the sideline, and then they start the play. 2nd and 8. He wants to pass. Fires a pass. This was a nice crisp pass, complete up to the 40-yard line. Gain of 8, should be close to and should be a first down. They put him officially down at the 40, and that is where he needed to be for the first down. So the first down for Campbell County on a very nice pass.
Yeah, it was a nice little play there by Campbell County, as they just had number 6 for them run a little curl route right in the middle of the field. Jaden Elam and Cole Adams there on the tackle.
7-0 is our score. The Wildcats in the lead. 6:23 to play. First quarter. Fast-moving quarter here at Blankenship Field. The ball is at the 40-yard line of the Cougars. They're moving as you're looking down from the home side from right to left. Once again from the shotgun, Hunter White. He'll hand it off to the back, and he is stacked up and then belted. Got blasted pretty hard at the end of the play by Oak Ridge.
Jacob Burvin on the tackle there. Nice job by the defensive line. Jacob Burvin doesn't make a nice hit on the running back there if the defensive line doesn't stack him up and do their job, which I think our defensive line has an advantage over Campbell County in this game.
I'd like to send a shout out to David Calhoun and his family listening to us tonight over in, I guess, South Carolina. Second down, 2 yards to go for the Campbell County Cougars. The ball is at their own 40-yard line. 7-0, the Wildcats in the lead. Kind of a muggy night, but not bad, actually. We've had warmer nights. We've had rainier nights as the Cougars come to the line. Second down, 10 yards to go. Clock is moving. They're going to throw. Plenty of time. Across the way, pass is incomplete. Wildcats got to be a little tighter on coverage right there. He threw it in a good spot. There was 3 gray shirts around it, but if he floats it in, and he almost did, that's a big completion, but it's incomplete. Third down, 10 yards to go.
Yeah, on that play, Campbell County had 3 receivers to their right, the visiting side, and 2 to the left, and they just faked a little curl route or a little hitch route and then tried to dump it over deep on a corner route. Wildcat defenders just got to make sure they're aware that they see that.
They're down 10 yards to go for Campbell County. They've used 1 timeout already here in the first quarter. Secondary is a little bit different. Cole Adams, Jaden Williams, Matthew Swigert back there, along with Preston Turner, kind of switching of positions as the Cougars have it 3rd down 10. And there's the play clock violation, delay a game against Campbell County. Why in the world would you take so much time? I put that on the coach too. I mean, if he's not going to get the play in, if they're going to change the play at the line of scrimmage, they got to get the play in quicker.
Yeah, David, I think you just got to have 2 plays called. I think you got to have a run play, just a simple run play up the middle, and then a pass play out wide. But again, like you said, it's got to be on the coach there.
Here we go again. They come to the line. He looks over the line. He stops. He looks over to the sideline. 5:17 to play. 3rd down, 15 yards to go. Campbell County 1-1. As they'll come to the line. He wants to pass again, has all day, floats it down the way. There's the man. Pass is incomplete. Had his man beat. Jalen Elam was the man defending, and it just went out of his fingertips. I don't know if he would have had his feet in bounds on the Campbell County sideline. It's incomplete. It's 4th and 15.
Yeah, David, that was a tough cover for Jaden Elam. Jaden came from his linebacker spot. His receiver ran a wheel route, which he just ran toward the corner and then straight up the field. So it's hard for Jaden to cover, and because the outside guy ran a post.
Camera personnel tonight up top in our booth right now. We have Cody Jordan. We'll come to that in a moment as the Cougars prepare to punt. 4th and 15, low end over end kick. Jaden Williams will try to field it. He does at the 40 to the 45, cuts to the Oak Ridge sideline, 50, still down the sideline he goes and pushed out of bounds at around the 35-yard line of Campbell County. It looked as if early that Jaden was just going to let it bounce, but he looked up the field and there wasn't a Cougar within 15 or 20 yards, so he took it on maybe 1 or 2 bounces and has a nice return. Great play by Jaden Williams.
Jaden Williams really using his speed there. He cut toward the middle of the field and then back up the sideline and probably had about close to a 35 yard return. It's a nice little job there. And the bounce can kind of put that play off schedule a little bit and throw a little kink in the play.
1st and 10 Wildcats. The ball is at the 36-yard line of the Cougars. Mitchell Gibbons back in at quarterback. 2nd drive for the Wildcats. Pumps once, looks, floats it, end zone, pass there, incomplete. Knocked away at the last moment. A lot of air under that one. I'm not exactly sure. That was an odd-looking play. There was no pressure in at all on Mitchell. He stopped. He looked to his right. There wasn't anybody there. And then he pumped, looked, and then as the flag goes down on the play. Interesting-looking play.
Yeah, I think they were trying to draw the fake there on, I believe it was Preston Turner running a little hitch route and hit Jalen Hayward over the top, and Jalen was wide open. I think Mitchell underthrew that just a little bit. Jalen had to backpedal a little bit, so a better thrown ball, that could have been a touchdown.
An eligible receiver downfield is the call against the Wildcats, so back them up 5. 2nd down, 15 yards to go, 4:53 to play 1st quarter in a 7-0 ball game here from Blankenship Field. And the ball is put back at the 39-yard line where it's 1st down and 15 yards to go. Here come the Wildcats once again. Jonathan Stewart, single coverage on him. He should blow this guy away. It's going to be Mitchell handing it off to Jabarice Taylor, and he's moving the ball. That's Jalen Hayward actually moving the ball forward for what appears to be a 1st down for the Wildcats. A 10 Bank of Oak Ridge 1st down. Jalen Hayward with a carry tonight.
Nice little job there by Jalen as Jalen just took a little pitch and ran outside with it. And I think that we can use our speed to get outside on them. I don't think their defensive backs are that quick.
4:28 to play in the 1st quarter. 2nd down, 2 yards to go. 7-0 is our score as the Wildcats have 2 receivers split to the right. Jaden Williams along with Jalen Hayward, Preston Turner. Here comes the handoff to Preston. Preston with a good run, moves the ball forward for another 10 Bank of Oak Ridge 1st down, I do believe, as he brings the ball across the 20-yard line, and he brings it all the way indeed for another 1st down. One of the Wildcats a little slow to get that up on the field. Let's see the trainer. Brian Leffler is out on the field to attend to the injured Wildcat. We'll take an injury timeout brought to you by Oak Ridge Pharmacy. 4:04 to play 1st quarter. 7-0 Oak Ridge. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Walker Rice, the injured Wildcat, comes off the field here. 4:04 to play in the 1st quarter. 7-0 is our score. The Wildcats playing with Jabarice Taylor in the backfield, Jalen Hayward. Wildcats have Preston Turner. The quarterback is Mitchell Gibbons. Wildcats have Jonathan Stewart as a receiver. He's going to split out to the left side. 4:04 to play 1st quarter. 7-0 is our score. Wildcats at the 18-yard line. The Wildcats have had their way with the Cougar defense here in the early going. Not a lot of speed I see out there from our friends from Campbell County.
Yeah, David, I think one of the things that the Wildcats can do, especially with Jabryce Taylor, it seems to be a physical back, is possibly run up the middle on Campbell County.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the Cougar 18-yard line. Jabryce has it, cuts to the outside, as the sideline, and moves the ball down close to the 5-yard line. They're going to officially say he went out right at the 4, I believe, where it'll be first down and goal to go for the Wildcats. They have no speed. I mean, this might be the slowest Campbell County team we've seen in a while.
Yeah, David, as Jabryce Taylor just went outside. Nice blocking there by his receiver on that side. And he just went outside and made a nice little move on, I believe it was Mikhail Shepard out there, and just forced him out of bounds. But a nice little run by Jabryce. I'll just continue to go with him.
3 minutes, 38 seconds to play. We're in the first quarter in a 7-0 ball game. The Wildcats with Taylor in the backfield, Mitchell Gibbons. Here comes Jabryce. He's got the pitch, moving to his left, into the end zone. He has yet another touchdown for the Wildcats. Jabryce Taylor getting a chance to play running back today. He's got 2 touchdowns, and Oak Ridge leads Campbell County 13-0 with 3 minutes and 33 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, David, nice little, Wildcats may have found a little second option here at running back with Jabryce Taylor. He just took a pitch out wide and basically could have walked into the end zone from the 5-yard line. As nice drive there, nice play calling by the Wildcats as they're now up 13-0.
Tyler Dunham will go for the extra point, kicking it towards Dean's Restaurant in Jackson Square. The holder is Hayden Tarwater. Here's the kick. It's on its way. It's up, and it's good. 14-0. The Wildcats lead Campbell County. We'll be back on FM 92.7 following this 60-second timeout. Welcome back once again to Blankenship Field. It's been all Oak Ridge here in the first quarter. 14-0 is the score. The Oak Ridge offense much crisper. This Campbell County team's not very good, though.
No, I don't think so, as we have Tyler Dunham for another pop-up kick.
And here it is. Another fair catch is asked for and made right at the 30-yard line. Back-to-back kicks for Tyler, right to the exact same spot. I tell you, he does a really good job with those.
Yeah, David, I think one of the best things that he does is the hang time. You'd like to see him get a little bit more depth, somewhere maybe around the 20, 25, but that's a really good job. And anytime you can force them to make a fair catch and not have to return is a win for your special teams.
Here comes Campbell County to the line once again. It won't matter. They'll break off the play as soon as they get there. Quarterback is going to look over to the sideline once again. I don't know. It's kind of annoying to watch, honestly. I guess it works for them. They're the coaching staff. They see something they want to go to. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 32-yard line officially. Quarterback is going to hand it off to the back, and he is slow of foot, and he is dropped by Jacob Burvin, and that's C.J. Allen on the carry. You know, in the last ball game, the Dobbins-Bennett ball game, we didn't call Cole Adams' name out very much. And I know he was disappointed with the loss, obviously. It's good to have him and Jackson Adams. Jackson was there on the stop there. We'll come back to Cole in a moment. 3:09 to play. Second down, 10 yards to go for Campbell County. 14-0 is our score as we broadcast from Blankenship Field on a nice night, finally, here at Blankenship. Once again, Hunter White at quarterback. Will roll to his right, look to run, about to be sacked, fires one off in the flats, he's caught, then the Wildcats are there to make the stop. Lots of pressure once again, some good tackling out there by Jaden Elam and Jacob Burvin. 2:44 to play, and it'll be for Campbell County, third down and long, third down, 8 yards to go. The Wildcats running crisply to the ball.
Yeah, David, and a really nice job there by them. Really nice job by our defensive line getting pressure on the quarterback because that throw was not very crisp, and it forced the very short completion.
Third down, 8 yards to go. Once again, Campbell County from the shotgun. Their running back is C.J. Allen. He's 5'9", 180-pounder. They have a lot of young people playing, not so much in their skill positions. Third down, 8 yards to go. They're going to pass across the way. It's going to be caught. I think Brian Kelly was actually going for an interception there, and he overran the pass, and it's complete for a first down. I think he's in a new position right there. I think he was thinking 6 points right there. Missed it, and it's complete and a first down.
Yeah, David, what happened there is the middle receiver was the one that caught the pass, or the middle receiver came to block him, and he tried to go make a interception on it and just got caught behind the receiver, and Jaden Williams had to make the stop there on the play.
Minute 45 to play first quarter. 14-0 is the score. The Cougars with Two receivers to the right of the quarterback. They've got one lone man in a slot in the backfield, two receivers to his left. Quarterback back to pass, fires a pass, is going to be caught. Nice catch out there. They're across midfield to around the 47-yard line, and that's a gain on the play. Pretty good gain as they move the ball for a gain of, we'll call it 7 yards. Second down, 3 yards to go. 1:19 to play. They're starting to move the ball a little crisper with their offense here. Once again, they'll come to the line. Three receivers to the right. Quick handoff to the back, and he moves the ball and is tackled at around the 45-yard line by the Wildcat linebackers. It'll be for Campbell County a first down run for them.
Yeah, David, that's one of the things that they like to do with their offense. If it's going to be second and short, 1 or 2, 3 yards, they like to get to the line quick and run a little run play before you can get set on defense.
First down, 10 yards to go once again. Hunter White, we're under a minute to play in the first quarter. Oak Ridge on top. Good crowd on hand here on this Friday night. Football here at Blankenship Field. Our next ball game won't be until October, as I said, next home ball game. Quick pass is going to be caught, and then a fumble on the play. Let's see if Oak Ridge has it. The catch is made, the hit is made, the fumble is recovered by the Cardinal and Gray. The Wildcats will take over on downs, I believe. First down, 10 yards to go. I believe the Wildcats do have the ball.
Yeah, David, it was a really nice play there. I believe that was Matthew Swigert that was to that sideline that made the hit and the strip. The ball just barely stayed in bounds long enough for the Wildcats to jump on it. That was a huge play right there as Campbell County was starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm to put that play out right there and that drive, and to be able to get back on offense and lengthen your lead is even better.
Jackson Adams there on the recovery for the Wildcats. First down, 10 yards to go, 32 seconds to play. Ball's at the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. Back on offense. Mitchell Gibbons fires a pass. Nice one. Caught by Jonathan Stewart for a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. All the way up to the Campbell County 41-yard line. If you don't have a whole lot of speed, you've got to control the ball, and turnovers will just kill you. And Campbell County has turned it over, but a flag might be down on the play. So the Oak Ridge first down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 42-yard line. 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Let's see if the Wildcats, they'll have to get another play off. The play clock is down to 13. There's 14 on the game clock. Mitchell Gibbons at quarterback. Wide receivers left and right for the Wildcats. Jonathan Stewart to the left. Man comes in motion. Jabrice this time is going to be dropped. And that is the final play of the first quarter. So we've played one quarter of football here at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats lead it 14-0 over the Cougars. And we'll be back with the second quarter in 60 seconds. David Clary, James Branson back here along with Brian Bennett back in the studios. Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Matthew Charles, Jordan Osborne, Cody Jordan also doing camera work for us tonight. It'll be the Wildcats first down, 10 yards to go. Ball's at the 45-yard line, opening play of the second quarter. Wildcats now moving away from Jackson Square to the north end zone. Mitchell will pass, fires a pass, incomplete. I think it was intended for Jonathan Stewart. Fell harmlessly to the turf. It is actually third down and 12 now. On the scoreboard, they hadn't changed the scoreboard. Is that McKeever up there doing that?
Probably, but we'll forgive him because he's a former Wildcat. We like McKeever. One of the things that you notice on that play is that the Oak Ridge offense had 3 wide receivers to the right and 1 to the left, a little bit different from what we've seen in the first couple games here for the Wildcat offense.
Matthew Swigert's going to drift off to the right side. Jalen Hayward in a slot. The Wildcats have one lone man to the left, a double wing once again. Quarterback is Mitchell Gibbons. Third down, 12 yards to go. They creep up to the line. Mitchell has time. Fires a pass out to Matthew. And I think he kind of panicked just a little bit. He saw that rush coming in. I think if he had held just for a split second, Jalen Hayward had come free into the secondary. It'll be fourth down facing the Wildcats.
Yeah, I think you're right, David, as Matthew Swigert even there was wide open on a little hitch route and probably could have run for about 5 yards, as it looks like the Wildcats are going to bring the punt team on for this fourth down.
11:52 to play first half. At halftime, we'll have Mark and Shauna Hayes statistics. We'll hope you'll stay tuned for that. I think Mike Sheehan's going to join us in the booth as well. I don't know what he's going to talk about, but, you know, anytime Mike has a mic in front of him, he can talk, so we'll let him. The Wildcats in punt formation, Bourbon and Preston Turner. Preston's going to fake it. Nope, no, he's going to kick it. High kick, very high. It's going to angle to the Oak Ridge sideline, take a good Oak Ridge bounce, roll inside the 20, and roll dead at around the 16-yard line. So I thought for a minute there he was going to run the ball on the fake punt, but thought wisely of it and punted it away. It'll be 1st and 10, Campbell County.
Yeah, that's what makes defending that little rugby kick that Preston and Jacob Burvin do very difficult, because it looks like they're running at the line of scrimmage, and it's a possibility that they're going to fake it, and I even thought that Preston was going to fake it, but nice little punt to get it inside the 20-yard line for the Wildcats.
Ball's officially at the 17-yard line, where it'll be Campbell County, 1st down, 10 yards to go. Hunter White is the quarterback, C.J. Allen in the backfield, Williams, Shepard, and Shanks are receivers for the Cougars. 1st down, 10 yards to go, the ball at their own 17-yard line. They're going to pass. Here comes pressure. A little screen pass is caught. The Wildcats make the initial hit and make the stop at the 21-yard line. Little screen pass allowed the Oak Ridge defense to come in. There was a lot of people around it. It didn't get a whole lot of yards, but it is a positive gain of about 5.
Yeah, it was a really nice job there. I believe that was Kai Hirsch from his defensive end position that kind of stayed at home and was able to make the first initial hit for the Wildcats.
Wildcats have a couple guys injured. Kendall Jackson is one. Trey Rowe, another one, starting defensive end, got hurt in the first quarter of last week's ball game. And that's 1 and 2 running backs. So that's why Jabryce Taylor is playing running back today for the Wildcats. Although Kendall is available, Trey Rowe is not. Back to pass. Campbell County, pass is caught. Big hit right near the line of scrimmage. A lot of pressure there and a big hit by Elam. And just in case Burvin and Kelly were there, it's a gain of 3. 2nd down, a long yard to go for a first. We'll call it 2. 10:37 to play, second quarter. 14-0 is our score. Campbell County quickly to the line. Is this that quick play where they like to run? As Campbell County will call a timeout. We'll take it with them. 10:30 to play first half. 14-0 Wildcats. Back in 60 seconds. 3rd down, 2 yards to go for Campbell County. The ball at the 25-yard line. Play clock wound, 22 seconds. Quarterback, once again, Hunter White came to the line. You're exactly right. They had just come out of a timeout. He comes to the line in the shotgun, and then stops, looks back to the sidelines. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. The ball is at the 25-yard line of Campbell County. 3 receivers to the right. Play clock is down to 5. Quarterback will run it, and he has what appears to be a first down across to the 28-yard line. And that's exactly where he needed to be. 1st and 10 for Campbell County.
It's very confusing, David. It's a smart play. Campbell County had 3 receivers one side, 2 to another, and they just spread everybody out and let him keep it. But why not make that play earlier?
10:16 to play, first half, 14-0. Wildcats in the lead. The ball is at the 28-yard line of the Cougars, wearing their all-white jerseys with blue and orange numerals. Wildcats in their all grays tonight. Sims back to pass. Lots of pressure from the backside from Cole Adams. Fires one down the way. Pass is there. A nice pass. Kind of soft coverage out there. And it's a 1st and 10 for Campbell County at around the 41-yard line.
Yeah, David, I don't think that was where he originally wanted to go, which was number 3 for Campbell County. The receiver that is Shepard. Shepard made the catch on a really deep, just a go route. I think he originally wanted to go to the curl route that was about 10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Nice pass that time by the quarterback, Hunter White. 1st down, 10 yards to go. 9:51 to play here in the first half. 14-0, the Wildcats in the lead. Good crowd here on this Friday night, Blankenship Field, as the Cougars have it. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Once again, back to pass. Lots of pressure this time. He avoids the sack, wants to run, cuts it up the field, and then lowers his shoulder and moves the ball to the 35-yard line. That is a gain on the play of about 6. The stop is made by Preston Turner. Good coverage down the field that time. Had no place to go. Cole and company gave him heavy pressure. It was officially a gain of 5. They quickly come to the line. They won't get the play off. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Once again, Hunter White slaps his hands, doesn't start the play, looks over to the sideline.
Yeah, and he waits, and obviously they want to get Oak Ridge caught in a little bit of a shift here, but Oak Ridge is getting set way before the play.
2nd down, 5 yards to go once again. Quarterback back to pass. That's White. Dumps it across the way. Incomplete. Little screen pass. There was no place to go. There was gray shirts, including Big Nick Dallas. And what are you going to do with Big Nick Dallas out there?
You're not going to do very much. But I think the screen play is a nice play to run here because the Wildcat defensive line is getting a lot of pressure on him. So maybe if you invite them upfield and try to dump it off underneath, that'll help. alleviate the pressure a little bit, but the Wildcat defensive line is doing an amazing job tonight.
They're down 5 yards to go. C.J. Allen in the backfield. He's the running back. The quarterback, as I mentioned, 6'2", 177-pounder Hunter White. 9 minutes to play first half, 14-0, 3rd and 5. White to pass. Pass could be picked off, and it's batted down. The Wildcats went for the interception, couldn't get to it, and that was Preston Turner who knocks it down, and it's 4th and 5.
Yeah, David, it was really nice coverage there by Preston Turner as he was just jumping the slant route, which was right there. And if he picked that off, he was going to go 70 yards for a touchdown the other way.
Campbell County will go for it here. The ball is at the 36-yard line. 4th down, 5 yards to go. Down 14-0. So they try to draw Oak Ridge off sides. Wildcats have done a pretty good job dealing with their patient, impatient, call a different play offense as they come to the line. 4th down and 5 yards to go. He's going to pass. Lots of pressure. Running. Cuts to the outside, and he is going to be tracked down. And that is right at the sticks, but I don't believe he's got enough for the first down, and the Oak Ridge offense will come onto the field. Good stop for the Oak Ridge defense. Needed 5, got about 4.5.
Yeah, it's a really good job there, especially by Cole Adams coming from his safety position, being able to get out there and get to the White, the quarterback, and make a nice play there. As Ethan Hewitt, I noticed he was in there on that defensive series, so it'll be interesting. Ethan playing a lot of defense and then going back to offense.
Wildcat offense is on the field. Jalen Hayward, along with one other receiver, split to the right. The quarterback comes to the line. Quarterback for Oak Ridge is Mitchell Gibbons, I believe, and Mitchell's got the snap. He's going to move the ball forward and cut it across up to around the 35-yard line. 8 minutes, 45 seconds to play. Second quarter, 14-0. The Wildcats in the lead.
Yeah, David, a little bit of a bobbled snap there by Mitchell Gibbons as Mitchell was trying to get it handed off to Jalen Hayward and just not able to get it, so he had to eat it and get as much yardage upfield as he could.
And all he got was back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 34-yard line of the Wildcats, leading 14-0 as we play here at Blankenship Field. Mitchell Gibbons, shotgun once again, receivers, man comes in motion. Mitchell's going to pass across the way, passes deep. There's the man, he's got it. He's at the 30, and out of bounds he goes, right at around the 25-yard line. What a beautiful pass that time to Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah, it's a really nice job there by Jonathan Stewart. And again, like you mentioned earlier, he was really upset at himself last week and his performance. Getting in those short completions earlier in the game helped set up that long completion along with the motion there. Everybody thinks that it's going to Jalen Hayward on a little sweep, but they faked it and then hit Jonathan Stewart upfield. As I see Brandon Hayward, the freshman, is now in for the Wildcats at receiver.
Ball's at the Campbell County 27-yard line. 8 minutes exactly to play here in the first half. 14-0 Oak Ridge. Mitchell Gibbons back to pass. Will fire it deep into the end zone to Brandon Hayward. He's got a touchdown, Oak Ridge. Brandon Hayward with the touchdown. A great spinning catch at the pylon, and Oak Ridge leads it 20-0.
Yeah, David, a really nice play there by Brandon Hayward as Mitchell Gibbons just saw that he was wide open, that he was going to beat his corner right there and use his speed and get to the pylon before his corner. Mitchell just floated it up there, allowed Brandon to run right under it, and what set all that up is that motion again by Jalen Hayward in the backfield.
And the Wildcats will go for yet another extra point. 7 minutes, 55 seconds to play in the first half. Dunham, here's the kick, drilled up and good. 21-0 Oak Ridge, 7:55 to play first half. We'll be back with yet another kickoff in 60 seconds. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. 7:55 to play. It's been all Cardinal and Gray. Oak Ridge leads Campbell County 21-0. Last year, Oak Ridge knocked off the Cougars up there 40-0. And tonight, the offenses look very crisp. We'll talk about that. Here's another pop-up kick. This one's going to be fielded and returnable, and then almost recovered on a fumble by the Wildcats. It's very, very close. Matthew Swiger was right down there with it, but Campbell County recovers it right at the 30. But Wildcat offense much crisper this week.
Yeah, David, and this is an opportunity to get better and get better against competition that is in your region. So this is these are the games that really count, and they look a lot crisper, not just passing the ball, but running the ball, and they look very efficient getting to the line and knowing what they're doing, offensive line-wise, and all around look a lot better.
7:52 to play here in the first half. Campbell County, first down, 10 yards to go, the ball at their own 30-yard line. Hunter White is the quarterback. They have three receivers to the left. It'll be Shepard and Shanks. They got single man to the right. One lone running back is Allen. First down, 10 yards to go. 21-0. The Wildcats in the lead. White, lots of time. Across the way pass, incomplete. Coverage out there for the Wildcats by Jacob Burvin. Incomplete. Second down, 10 yards to go. Mikhail Shepard, the intended receiver. He is 5'6", 141 pound. He is a senior. They don't have a lot of speed, James.
As Jacob Burvin was contemplating either going for the interception or making the tackle there, and played the man instead of the ball, which Jacob very easily could have used his speed and picked it off.
We're going to see Jacob on offense tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Second down, 10 yards to go. 7:47 to play here in the first half. 21-0 Wildcats. Allen in the backfield with White. White's got a pass. He's in a lot of trouble. Sacked! He is dropped by Mr. Boone. Big stick at the 25-yard line.
There's a nice pressure there by Isaiah Boone. He just came right up the middle, I believe from his nose tackle position, and beat his lineman, got to the quarterback really quick, and I think that's one of the strengths here for the defensive line is the weakness of the Campbell County Cougars offensive line.
Third down, 16 yards to go. The ball back at the 24-yard line. 7:15 to play first half. The Wildcats want their hands on the ball again. White looking over to the sideline, looking for the play. They don't have a whole lot of people dressed out here tonight at Blankenship Field. Third down, 16 yards to go. Back to pass, rolling to his right, deep into the backfield, feeling lots of pressure, floats it towards the sideline, throws it away. I believe, was that Justin Pace who comes down with it?
It was a nice interception by him. I didn't know he could jump that high.
I didn't, well, no comment. 6 minutes, 55 seconds to play here in the first half. Fourth down, 16 yards to go. Wildcats starting to wear down their big line. They're huge. Their line is enormous. Not very quick for sure. Wildcats getting a lot more pressure in the last couple of series.
Yeah, it was a really nice job there. As the play started on the 25-yard line, the quarterback had to roll all the way almost back to his own 10-yard line to throw that pass.
They're in punt formation. Fourth down, 16 yards to go. Back to receive the kick, Jaden Williams. Here's the kick. Oh, it's a nice one. End over end kick. Jaden calls for a fair catch and makes it right at the 42-yard line. Sure-handed guy. You coached him. Tell us about Jaden Williams.
I love Jaden Williams. He's a hard worker. He's one of the guys that you want to coach. He is a player that you're going to love. He uses his speed. He's very smart, very intelligent. If you tell him to do something, he's going to go out and execute it exactly like you want. He actually started for us as a sixth grader. He was the first guy that played as a sixth grader and started for us.
And he's got a legacy. He's got a dad, too, that played ball for Oak Ridge.
I heard he was pretty good, Johnny Williams, and a pretty good little uncle.
First down, 10 yards to go. 6:50 to play in the first half. Little quick pass out of the backfield. Preston Turner. Preston at the 50, at the 45-yard line, and that is where he's tackled, and that is where he picks up what appears to be a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. Preston Turner a lot more involved in the offense tonight.
Yeah, David, as it was a nice pass and a nice scamper upfield, but I believe we're going to get a holding call. No, it goes the other way, so I think it's going to come on Campbell County here, but there is a flag in the backfield.
For whatever reason, the clock is still running, even though they have a play of stoppage on the field, but now they stop it.
They called a holding on the Wildcats. It must have been on the block that freed Preston Turner to get up for the first down.
So it is a 10-yard penalty against the Wildcats. They walk the ball back to the 33-yard line where it's first down, 20 yards to go. Cuddy Jordan Osborne, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Matthew Charles, our camera personnel tonight. Mark and Shauna Hayes doing our stats. We'll have them at halftime. Mike Sheehan's with us. This is David Clary along with James Branson. 6:18 to play first half, 21-0. Region ball game here at Blankenship. The Wildcats trying to win their first region ball game. Play a non-region ball game next week at Farragut. Here's a handoff right up the middle. Good running room up the middle. Good run across the 40 up to around the 41-yard line. And that is Preston Turner once again on the run, and he just kind of weaved his way through there. You know, we haven't seen Preston do anything like that. I mean, he's been a receiver the last couple of years, but getting some handoffs and some carries tonight.
Yeah, David, Preston has a really good vision, and on that play, what he did was he was just looking as he was about to take the snap or take the handoff. He was looking where the hole was going to be and cut right through immediately where that hole was, which was right off the guard.
Second down and 11 yards to go. The Wildcats, Hayden Tarwater, quarterback, fires one across the way. Pass is incomplete. I just noticed that Hayden came in at quarterback. Coach Gaddis told me that he was going to get his sophomore quarterback in the ball game in this one, get him some playing time. He's the heir apparent, I guess. Of course, Peyton Sharp's also another quarterback contending for playing time, but Hayden's in there as a sophomore. Big situation here for the Wildcats. Third down, 11 yards to go. The penalty hurt. Let's see if Hayden and company can get him out of this hole. 5:35 to play here in the first half. 21-0 Wildcats.
Yeah, David, this is a good opportunity for Hayden to get a shot and show what he can do against first-team reps in a live game.
Third down, as I mentioned, 11 yards to go. The ball is at their own 42. Hayden's got time. Goes deep. Passes there. A little up for grabs. It's going to be dropped. Should have been picked off as intended for Jonathan Stewart. Put a little bit too much air on it, and that's something that Hayden doesn't normally do. Hayden's got this rifle on his shoulder there, but a little bit too much air, and very fortunate it wasn't picked off. It'll be fourth down, and the Wildcats will be forced to punt.
Yeah, David, one of the things that happened there is Hayden Tarwater had a lot of pressure coming at him right up the middle of the line, and he just wasn't able to step into it. He kind of had to throw off his back foot, which is why it sailed on him a little bit.
5:29 to play in the first half. Jacob Bourbon, Preston Turner in punt formation. Fourth down, 11 yards to go. We'll talk about this formation in a moment. Two punters back there, and it's going to be Oak Ridge to punt. Not a great one. It's going to take a good Oak Ridge bounce, though. It's going to roll inside the 25, still rolling, and we'll go dead at around the 24-yard line, and that is where Campbell County will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. We've talked about this. This is being our third ball game. What the Wildcats do in punt formation, and I was telling the Campbell County announcers this week. We've got two guys back there side by side, shoulder to shoulder, and determined by the sideline and how they line up is whether they punt it and which one punts it, or if they decide to fake it.
Yeah, David, and Preston didn't take as much of a run up on that one as he did on previous ones, where he was almost running at the line of scrimmage, looking like he was going to fake it. That's what makes that rugby-style kick very dangerous.
5 minutes, 19 seconds to play. Ball's at the 23-yard line. Campbell County moving, if you're looking down from the home side, left to right. 5:19 to play, 21-0. The Wildcats in the lead. Beautiful night here at Blankenship Field. Starry skies. Quarterback will fire a pass, almost intercepted, incomplete. It'll bring up second down, 10.
A little bit of a slant route there for Campbell County that was right across the middle, and I think that was Brian Kelly that nearly picked that off, and if he had, he would be in the end zone right about now. I think that the quarterback White should have dumped it off to his running back Allen over in the flats. It was covered. It was a little bit of coverage there, but that was more open than the slant route.
Second down, 10 yards to go once again for Campbell County. The Wildcats coached by Joe Gaddis, assisted by Jeff Miner, Brian Wyatt, Chad Hodge, along with Barry Saunders, Winston Russell, John Spratling, Tyler Jarnigan, Justin Pace, Zach James, Jordan Hanna, Ted Mitchell. The trainer is Brian Leffler. Quarterback back to pass. Lots of pressure. He is about to be sacked. He fires it into the Campbell County sideline. Wildcats had Matthew Swigert coming with reckless abandonment to the backside of White, and I don't think he saw him, but he felt him, and he threw it into the stands.
Yeah, David, it looked like Matthew Swigert was coming out of the track blocks there as he was just sprinting down the line of scrimmage, and Matthew Swigert is a cornerback for the Wildcats. What happened is on that play, Cole Adams rotated down to cornerback to allow Matthew to blitz.
21-0 Oak Ridge, 5:10 to play first half. Third down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 23-yard line of Campbell County. Good crowd on hand here for this Friday night football contest between two rivals. Rivalry dating back to 1975, dominated by the Wildcats 33-1. That's White will pass. He's in trouble. Fires it down the way overthrown, incomplete. Fourth down, 10 yards to go. The only time Campbell County has ever beaten Oak Ridge was 2013. Wildcats 33-1 all time. But you know as well as I do, Campbell County was absolutely terrible from the first 40 years of their existence. It wasn't until Matt his brother Justin Price came up here and really got the program settled down, and it is a football program now.
Yeah, David, and they're going to playoffs, and they're beating teams in playoffs, and that you got to credit the Price brothers for that, and they're doing a great job, and they've installed an offense that really works for them. Just Wildcats seem to be a little bit better tonight.
4th down and 10. Here's the punt. It's end over end. Jaden calls for a fair catch on this side of the 50-yard line. So the Wildcats have 5 minutes to get into the end zone, score more points, head to that dressing room with a substantial lead over Campbell County. They'll take over at the the Campbell County 48-yard line. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Hayward across the 50. Hayward cuts to the outside 45-40. He is sprinting down the field for a 10-back of Oak Ridge. Finally comes to a rest at the 33-yard line. 10 Wildcats. Jalen Hayward, the senior, on the run.
Very shifty run there by Jalen Hayward, as he, kind of like Preston Turner did earlier, he was going outside and he saw that there was a hole just inside. He cut in that hole and then cut back out around the blocking receivers that he had there. Really nice job by the receivers blocking downfield for Jalen.
4:39 and counting here in the second quarter. 21-0 Oak Ridge next Thursday, 7 o'clock kickoff at Farragut. We'll be on the air. We'll also stream it live on YouTube. I know it's on TV, but listen to our broadcast. You don't want to listen to Packer. Listen to us. 1st down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 34-yard line. Quick pass is going to be caught. Big hit on the receiver. Not a whole lot of room over there as the Wildcats pick up the reception. Gain of about, we'll call it 4. Justin Crowley there on the reception. Justin Crowley, you know who his dad is.
He was one of the best hitters that we've ever had, Sean Crowley. And Justin has really good hands as well.
Justin likes to put it down on people too. He's just not quite up to his dad's level yet, but he's getting close to it. Gain of, we'll call it 4 yards on the play. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. The ball is at the 30-yard line of Campbell County. 3:41 to play. Mitchell pumps once. Little quick pass is complete across the 30 to the 25-yard line, moving the ball down to looks like the 21-yard line, and that is another 1st down. Preston Turner on the reception. 1st and 10 Wildcats.
A little bit of a rush pass there by Mitchell Gibbons, as he was able to get it out to Preston. Nice moves there by Preston, but what caused that to be a little bit rushed was the defensive end and the defensive tackle twisted, and which means the defensive tackle went outside, defensive end went inside, which caused a little bit of confusion for the offensive line.
Flag on the play. We'll have to see what these guys decide. And they're having a conference, long conference. Do they know what they want to decide?
I think they're talking about what they want to eat after the game.
Big Ed's is not open, so I know they're not going there. There's not too many places that are having sit-down, seating.
I think they're discussing who's going to make the call to Big Ed's before the game's over.
They're going to put the ball down, and let's see if they're going to step it off. They are going to say what? I didn't see the official signal. They're going to put the ball down, and they're going to step off penalty. Santa Claus is going to move it up inside the 10-yard line. We're actually at the 11-yard line. Well, it'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go. James?
His back's to me. I'm struggling to see what is going on, but the Wildcats are going to be at the 11-yard line, so in really good range for the continuation of the drive.
Dead ball foul, roughing the passer against Mitchell. 3:32 to play, first half. 21-0 is the score. Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top. Trying to get more here. In front of a good crowd on hand here. We were kind of wondering what the crowds would be like with the COVID virus and such, but Oak Ridge fans, they're braving it. And here they come to the line, the Wildcats. Wildcats 2 receivers to the left. Actually, close in is Preston Turner. The Wildcats have Brandon Hayward. He's got a touchdown already to the right of the quarterback. And then Hayward comes in motion. Handoff goes to Jalen. Looks for some running room. Moves to the 10. Cuts to the inside. He's at the 5. He strolls into the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. Jalen Hayward just picked and chose. He looked, he darted one way, didn't room, and just cut it to the outside, and then ended up just walking into the end zone.
Really patient run there by Jalen as he was able to, as you say, make a couple moves, but really nice blocking by the receivers in the offensive line, and nice blocking enough to not get in his way and to not hold on that play as well. So really nice play all the way around, and that was very similar to what Jalen did a couple of plays before.
And the Wildcats will go for the extra point. 3:09 to play. And the ball is down. Hayward on the hold. Kai Hirsch on the snap. Dunham on the kick. And it's good. 28-0 Oak Ridge. Still 3:09 to play in the first half. We'll be back with yet another Wildcat kickoff in 60 seconds. Here's the kick by Oak Ridge. Another pop-up kick's going to bounce at the 30. And it's going to be nearly recovered. It might be the Wildcats that have recovered it. Campbell County did not move. They didn't aggressively go for the ball. The Wildcats came down, and they recover it. What were they thinking? I mean, the ball was up in the air. It bounced. They didn't try to cover it. Oak Ridge was down there, and they've got it. Knocking on the door once again with 3:09 to play. 1st and 10 Wildcats.
Yeah, David, what I noticed the pass kickoff as well is Campbell County has backed up their third row. And so their third row is not right at the 30-yard line where the kicks are falling. I'm assuming that's so that it allows the returners to run underneath it. But no returners ran underneath it, and the Wildcats just sprinted down the field and fell on the football, and they're going to have it at plus territory at the 32-yard line.
Let's see what Mitchell Gibbons and company can do. 1st and 10, the ball at the Campbell County 32. Mitchell's going to go deep into the end zone. There's the man. He's got it. He's got it into the end zone. Touchdown! Oak Ridge. The Wildcats scored. Jonathan Stewart. Take advantage of a mistake by Campbell County. Go right to the throat. And that's what Oak Ridge did as Mitchell Gibbons connects with Jonathan at the pylon. And it's Oak Ridge 34-0 with 3:02 to play here in the first half.
Big momentum swing play there as the Wildcats sent Jalen Hayward in motion again, just faked it to him, drew the defense upfield. Jonathan Stewart just used his speed over the top. Nice completion right on point there as the Wildcats, go up 34 points, hopefully 35 here.
And the Wildcats will go yet for another extra point. Ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. 35-0. The route is on at Blankenship Field. 3:02 to play, second quarter. We'll be back with another Wildcat kickoff here in 60 seconds.
Kyle Shepard calls for the fair catch. Cougars will take over 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard.
Welcome back once again to Blankenship Field. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top, 35-0. 3:02 to play here. The kickoff, the fair catch was made this time at the 30-yard line. Here comes Campbell County desperately trying to get on the board here. 35-0 Wildcats. White is the quarterback. The Wildcats, let's see if they still have all the starters in. It would appear so. Wildcat defense has been stout, posting a shutout to this point. They beat Campbell County last year 40-0. They're up 35-0, and we're not even to halftime yet. White's going to hand it off to C.J. Allen, and he breaks a couple tackles, and then Cole Adams makes a stop at around the 39-yard line. Initially, I didn't think he was going to get a whole lot, but he was able to move the ball forward. Pretty nice run. He's not very fast. He does gain about 7. 2nd down, 3 yards to go. 2:45 to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, David, as Joseph Morgan was in on that play, J.K. Morgan was, and I think that was where the play initially went off, but Cole Adams came up with that tackle.
2nd down, 3 yards to go. Ball's at the Campbell County 38-yard line. Allen gets the call this time. He's going to be dragged down from the backside. Strong enough to get back to the 40-yard line. Gain of 2. I think it'll be 3rd down and a yard to go. The ball is right at the 40-yard line. 3rd down, 1 yard to go. 2:14 to go. Joseph Morgan once again on the stop there for the Wildcats. 2:08 and counting, 35-0 Wildcats. Once again, they try to get a yard here, try to keep this drive going, trying to get on the scoreboard here before halftime. It's been all Oak Ridge. Campbell County hadn't even threatened. Turned the ball over a couple times. It's not been pretty for the guys from Campbell County.
No, David, it hasn't, as multiple turnovers and have caused issues for Campbell County.
Catch is made up here at the 45-yard line. That is a 1st down for them. Brian Kelly on the stop. Jaden Elam there on the stop for the Wildcats, but not before Campbell County does pick up a 1st down at their own 45-yard line. 1:38 and counting, 35-0 Oak Ridge. Once again, Hunter White brings them up quickly to the line. They'll split out a single man to the right. They've got 2 to the left. A couple more guys blocking in the backfield for White as the Wildcats, with 1:25 to play, as White will hand it off to Allen. He's got some running room around the end. He lowers his shoulder. Matthew Swigert and company make the stop.
Yeah, David, as the Wildcats have brought in the H-back basically to block, or basically a fullback to block for Allen. Previously, they had a tight end in on several plays just to get a couple more blocking for this very active Wildcat defensive line.
Second down, we'll call it 6 yards to go, under a minute to play. Ball's right at midfield at the 50-yard line. The second year we've played with artificial turf here at Blankenship Field. The hill has got a lot of people on it on both sides of the home side. Campbell County didn't bring a whole lot of people here this time. Second down, a long 5 to go for a first. White to pass again, floats it down the way. Pass is going to be incomplete. Cole Adams, I think, defending out there. Pass just a little bit overthrown. It'll be third down and 5 yards to go. 35 seconds to play in the first half. 35 seconds to play, 35 on the board for Oak Ridge.
Yeah, David, really nice coverage there from Cole Adams from his safety position. The White just wasn't able to put it on his receiver, and it went over his head. But one key thing to note here, 35 points, so that means we'll start with the second half with a running clock.
Most definitely. 35-0 the score. 35 seconds to play here. The ball at midfield. Campbell County trying to keep this drive alive. Receivers left and right for them. They're going to hand it off to Allen. He's going to move the ball for about a yard or two. Not much more than that. It's going to be fourth down facing Campbell County. Campbell County doesn't seem to be too eager to call a timeout here. It's going to be fourth down. We're down to 21 seconds to play. I guess they don't want Oak Ridge to get their hands on the ball. He got only a yard. You know, I don't know why you just don't take a shot here. I mean, get it down to about 2 seconds and then call that timeout and then take a shot down the field. That's what I would do. But Campbell County's ticked it on down to 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. They're just going to let it go to halftime. You know, I'm not a coach. You're a coach here. But what I would have done, personally, if they're going to let it run down, they didn't want Oak Ridge to get their hands on the ball. Do you have your football field away from the high school? Welcome back once again to Blankenship Field. The second half about to get set here. It's been all Oak Ridge, 35-0. The Wildcats will be receiving the kick here. Let's see if Jalen Hayward drops back to receive the kick. Let's see if they onside kick it. I mean, they're down 35-0. They've got to make some things happen here as they prepare to kick off for the first time tonight. Makes his approach, and here's the kick. It's a high kick, end over end. It's going to be short, fielded at the 15 to the 20. Behind the wedge to the 25 to the 35-yard line, and that is where Oak Ridge will take over. First down, 10-yard turn for the Wildcats, and back out on the field will come the Oak Ridge offense.
Really nice return there by Jalen Hayward, who's really doing a great job on special teams this year. He had a really nice return out to, I believe, the 45 or 50-yard line against Dalvins Bennett last week, so you would love to see him take one to the house at some point this year.
Yeah, I didn't know if Walker Rice came back in the ball game. We'll set the starters in a moment here for the Wildcats as Oak Ridge has it. First down, 10 yards to go. This drive officially starting at the 36-yard line. 11:19 to play here in the third quarter. Mitchell's going to pass. Pass is caught. Up the sideline, I think that's Tarwater at quarterback. So looks like Jonathan Stewart on the reception. It'll be a gain on the play of about, we'll call it 8 yards. Second down and a long, we'll call it more like 7-yard gain. Second down, 3 yards to go.
Yeah, David, I think that's Nick Lucas who is in at center, and obviously you said Hayden Tarwater. So it looks like the Wildcats are getting some of those ones and one subs in for the opening drive here.
Preston Turner split out to the right side along with Jalen Hayward. Hayden Tarwater, sophomore, about 6 feet tall. Got a strong arm on him. Looking at a blitz here. He's going to fire a pass. He caught. Moves the ball up the field to the 45, to the 50, inside to Campbell County territory, all the way down to the 46-yard line. Brandon Hayward, the freshman, first and 10, a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
Really nice job there by Brandon by catching that snap and getting upfield. And really nice job by Hayden Tarwater staying in there and taking a hit and delivering the pass. So two really good young players you like to see for the Wildcats.
Bryce Taylor is in the backfield. We'll set the offensive lineman in a moment here. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the 44-yard line. There's some movement. Why don't you set those linemen? The flag is down on the play. 10 minutes to play third quarter. Moving clock here because Oak Ridge is up 35-0. The clock will not start until it becomes under 35.
Yeah, David, as our starting linemen are Robert Hill at left guard, Ethan Hewitt left tackle, Nick Lucas is your center, Vinny West is your right guard, and right tackle is Kason Staggs.
9:38 and counting here. The Wildcats with it. First down, 5 yards to go. After the 5-yard step off, the ball is at the Cougar 39-yard line, 35-0. Hayden back to pass. Rolls to his left. Looks, might run it. He's going to. Hayden at the 40, at the 35. Hayden Tarwater, the 30, 25-20. Goes out of bounds at the 15 and hit out of bounds, but a flag is down in the backfield. Probably coming back on a hole, we'll have to see. But you're right. Hayden got hit out of bounds here.
Yeah, David, I think there should have been a flag down here as Hayden was clearly giving himself up, going out of bounds. The hit wasn't very malicious, but it was still a hit either way. And it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct is going to be the flag on, looks like Campbell County.
So a nice run by Hayden, and they'll tack some more yardage onto that. 8:50 and counting. The clock is not going to stop. We're going to get out of here early unless Campbell County can make it less than 35-0. First down and goal to go. The ball is going to be at the 8-yard line. 8:35 and counting. The Wildcat quarterback is Hayden Tarwater. The Wildcats have Jabryce Taylor as a running back, Preston Turner, Jalen Hayward, Brandon Hayward, his younger brother. We have one receiver split to the left side. That is Jonathan Stewart. Hayden brings him up. First down, goal to go. The ball at the Campbell County 8, 35-0. The Wildcats in the lead. Officials are getting set. They put the chains down as the Wildcats come to the line. Most of the crowd still in attendance here. What a beautiful night here. The weather was absolutely perfect here. First down, goal to go for the Wildcats. Hayden wants to pass in the end zone. Pass incomplete. A little bit high. A lot of power behind that pass to Jonathan Stewart. It's second down, goal to go.
Yeah, it was really well set up there for the Wildcats as many of the receivers were off to the right side, and Jonathan Stewart was in basically man coverage on number 9 for Campbell County and ran on a nice little slant route, just had to go right through his hands on that play.
Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Matthew Charles, our camera person down on the field. We have Jordan Osborne and Cody Jordan up top. Brian Bennett is the engineer. Second down, goal to go. Ball's at the 8-yard line. Hayden's going to pass again, rolls, avoids the sack, looks to run. He's at the 8-yard line, moves the ball to the 5, where it'll be third down, goal to go for the Wildcats at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, Hayden's very impressive using his feet to kind of keep the play alive. Hayden's a lot faster than I originally thought he was, but I also haven't seen him play very much.
Hayden's pretty good. I'm telling you, he has got an arm. He has got a really good arm. As the Wildcats are substituting, they're bringing in the big boys into the ball game, where it'll be third down and goal to go. The Wildcats have Kai Hirsch in the ball game. The Wildcats will come to the line. Jabryce is still in the backfield. The Wildcats with a power formation. Everybody up close and tight. Third down, goal to go at the 5. Hayden will pitch to Jabryce. Jabryce tries to get to the end zone. He is moving the ball to the goal line, and he takes it across. Or does he? No signal. Waiting. The ball will be put down at the 1-yard line. Jabryce Taylor will have it, and the Wildcats will have it. Fourth and goal at the 1.
Yeah, David, a little bit of old school student body left there as you had Cole Adams in, you had Kai Hirsch, as you mentioned, Nick Dallas in, as well as Jabryce Taylor. Just get it to him, let him use his speed and get outside, as just all you got to do is block for him, as the Wildcats are going to go on 4th and 1.
6:19 to play. They've stopped the clock for whatever reason now. The Wildcats at the 1-yard line. Hayden's got the handoff, gives it into Jabryce. Jabryce is going to be denied the touchdown. No, he is in for the touchdown. Late signal just across the line, and Jabryce Taylor is in for the score. And with 6:19 to play, the clock didn't move at all, and the Wildcats up their lead to 41-0.
Yeah, David, a nice play there by Jabryce. I'm going to be honest, I lost him a little bit in the pile. I think Jabryce was a lot closer to scoring on the previous play than he was on that play. But either way, Wildcats lead and extend, and the clock should be continually running now.
Looks like Campbell Cody's going to come into the ball game. The clock has not moved since the third down play. Ball is down. The kick is on its way. It's up, and it is good. Camden Malcody with the extra point, and the Wildcats lead the Campbell County Cougars by a score of 42-0. And we'll be back to Blankenship Field with another Oak Ridge kickoff in 60 seconds. Clary back here along with James Branson, 42-0. The clock is not working on the Jackson Square scoreboard side, as the kick is a deep kick this time. It's going to go all the way back to the 5. Returning the ball to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and the Wildcats make the stop at around the 22-yard line, and that is where Campbell County will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. Jacob Bourbon on the kickoff tackle as we play here. Running clock here in the third period, 42-0 Wildcats.
Yeah, David, nice kickoff there for the Wildcats as they got it down to the 5-yard line. And Campbell County is only going to start at the 21, so kind of interesting to see the multiple levels of our special teams.
Totally turned off one of the scoreboards here as the Cougars come to the line. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball is at the 21-yard line of Campbell County. Most of the fans still here enjoying this beautiful night of football here at Blankenship Field. It's gone all the way. Cougars wearing their all-white jerseys, moving left to right here in the third quarter. Handoff goes to C.J. Allen. He is dropped at the line of scrimmage. Might have even lost a yard. Some late pushing and punching, actually, by the Cougars. A little frustration, I think, as the Wildcats lead it 42-0.
Yeah, David, as I think the Cougars are kind of settled in to try to just run the ball and get out of here as quickly as possible as we have 4:30 left in the third quarter.
The last 2 years, 82 unanswered points against the Wildcat defense by this Campbell County team. Wildcats watch Campbell County come to the line. Second down, 10 yards to go. Ticking it on down. A moving clock here in the second half as the Cougars have it right at the 21-yard line. White to pass. Pass is going to be nearly intercepted. The Wildcats in pretty good position to pick off that pass. Preston Turner was the defensive back for the Wildcats who almost got it, and it'll be now third down facing Campbell County.
Really nice coverage there by Preston and also by Jaden Elam. Jaden Elam, we seem to be calling his name a lot. I believe he is a senior as well, playing really well in coverage for the Wildcats all year long.
Third down, we'll call it 10 yards to go. The Wildcats on top, 42-0, under 3 minutes to play here in the third period as the Cougars look to the sideline. Nothing fancy here. I think they're content to head on back to Campbell County. It's not a Campbell County team that we're used to seeing. They don't really have much speed as White's going to pass again. Pass is going to be caught wide open as they pick up a first down on a long situation. They move the ball across the 35-yard line. White, a nice pass there. Nice catch by Shanks. First and 10, Campbell County.
Yeah, it looks like the Oak Ridge defense just not trying to get beat deep here, and we're trying to get a couple of our subs in as we move with 3:10 left in the third quarter.
42-0 is our score. The Wildcats in the lead here from Blankenship Field. Next Thursday, the Wildcats will be traveling to Farragut. In fact, the next 4 ball games are on the road. Farragut next week, the following Thursday at West. Big regional ball game. White to pass. He's in trouble. Floats it out here. Pass is incomplete. Wildcats came in strong with a heavy rush by Kai Hirsch and one other Wildcat. That might have been Big Nick Dallas in there with the rush. It'll be for Campbell County, second and 10.
Yeah, David, joined by Kai Hirsch on that. Really nice pressure by the defensive line and nearly picked off had the throw been any type of accuracy on it as we go with 2:20 left in the third quarter.
Second down and 10 yards to go. We have a moving clock, as we mentioned, because of the score. It's basically the slaughter rule in effect here. Last year, Oak Ridge won 40-0. They're up 42-0 in this one. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go. White's going to pass, has some time, floats a little screen pass out here towards the Oak Ridge sideline. One tackle is broken. He moves the ball across the 30 up to around the 41-yard line. It'll be for the Cougars after the Allen reception. Third down and 7 yards to go.
Nice little play there by the Cougars as they just motioned their running back out into the backfield. And good coverage there, I believe, by Jaden Elam, as you said, making that tackle in open field on a short little screen pass as we're just under a minute left here in the third quarter.
42-0 Oak Ridge. White trying to once again complete a third down completion here. Had a nice one the last time. Third down, 7 yards to go. The ball at the 45. Has some pressure. Will run. Nearly stumbles. Moves the ball forward and goes down right at the 45-yard line. White kind of lost his footing as he moved the ball forward and didn't get enough yardage. The old turf monster got him at the 45. It's fourth and about 2.
Yeah, David, as I think Campbell County's probably just settled in and going for it, knowing that this is going to be the end of the third quarter here.
White, once again, fourth down. A long 2 to go for a first. Closing seconds here of the third quarter. 42-0, the Wildcats on top. We appreciate you listening to our broadcast on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com. White, fourth down and 2. Back to pass. Fires the pass. Caught And they move the ball across midfield to the 45-yard line. And that is a first down for the Campbell County Cougars. That's Shanks on the reception. They move the chains as the clock ticking down the final moments here of the third quarter. Campbell County desperately trying to get another playoff before the third period comes to a close. They'll get one off as they come to the line. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the 45-yard line. White looking over to his sideline once again. Two receivers to the right, two receivers to the left. C.J. Allen, the lone running back at the Oak Ridge 45. White to pass, across the way, pass, incomplete. In and out of the fingertips of the intended receiver, and that is the end of the third quarter. We have played 3 quarters of football here at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge lead it by a score of 42-0, and we'll be back with the fourth and final quarter in 60 seconds. Had a long halftime presentation. White to pass, 2nd and 10, in a lot of trouble, floats it down the way to a man who's there, but the pass is intercepted by Oak Ridge. The Wildcats pick it off right at the 10-yard line. Nice defensive play by the Wildcats.
Brandon Hayward there from his corner position, just following the ball there, going on the deep route. It was underthrown once again. White underthrew that go route, and Brandon, just as I'm blanking on who picked one off earlier in the game. And we're playing nice turnover here for the Wildcats as they again keep that shutout alive.
Yeah, that's a good-looking freshman right there. He's got a touchdown to his credit as the Wildcat offense will come out on the field once again. First down, 10 yards to go. 42-0 is our score. Let's see if we can check some new numbers. Jacob Burvin perhaps in the backfield running a little offense for the Wildcats. I saw him doing that in practice, and maybe he's in there. We'll check some of the other new numbers. Tarwater is the quarterback. We'll check the lineups. Drew Thomas is a receiver for the Wildcats. He splits off to the left side. Wow. The Wildcats have Tarwater, quarterback. Handoff goes to the running back, and he is met at the line and pushed back by the Campbell County Cougars. On the carry for the Wildcats there was Jason Coates.
Jason Coates, the brother of Tyrell Romano from last year, the younger brother. I believe the Wildcats also still have Jalen Hayward in, but they have Terrence Anthony, number 39, in as well.
Let's check out some of those other linemen in there. Second down, 11 yards to go. Drew Thomas, his dad was a Wildcat too. Johnny Miller, who played for the Wildcats back in the day, played against the Price brothers, honestly, back when he was a player. Wildcats. Tarwater's going to hand it off once again. Not a whole lot of room there. They move the ball across the 10 up to around the 12-yard line. James?
As they have Chase Woods in, the Wildcats do, as well as Samuel Bentley so far, and we'll check on a couple more.
You know, Sam Bentley, his grandmother used to be the registrar at the high school. So, and David was a Wildcat, his dad. It'll be for the Wildcats. Third down, we'll call it. About 8 yards to go for a first. The ball's at the 11-yard line. Hayden Tarwater is going to run it. Hayden Tarwater at the 15, at the 20, at the 25, to the 30. Hayden Tarwater makes a cut to the inside. Still rumbling down the field. He has a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. Hayden, as you said, deceptively fast, long guys. Such a little guy, but he's gotten about 6 feet tall. He's got a strong arm, and he can run the ball.
Yeah, he can run really well and use his speed. Very similar to Mitchell Gibbons in that aspect. I think he's a very deceptive runner. As we also, for the Wildcats, have in Zach Snyder and number 79, Truitt, and I'm going to let you say his last name.
He's from Hardin Valley. I'll just say that. As it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats have the ball at their own 35-yard line after the run by the sophomore quarterback. He's going to pass it. The pass is complete. Stick made on the sideline. They're going to get about 2 or 3. We're ticking it on down. A running clock here at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats all over the Cougars, 42-0. It's Oak Ridge and Farragut next week's. That'll be a Thursday ball game. A 7 o'clock game the following Thursday. We'll also back-to-back Thursday ball games on Packers TV, but we'll have our broadcast and we'll be streaming as well. So get the Oak Ridge broadcast. Forget about those Knoxville media guys like Alex Myers. It'll be for the Wildcats. Second down, 8 yards to go. 42-0 Oak Ridge. The ball at the 36-yard line. Hayden hands it off to his back and moves the ball across the 40. Tyrese carries the ball.
Really nice carry there by Tyrese as we go under 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's a really good opportunity for some of these guys to get, and a lot of these are junior varsity players, excuse me. So it's nice for them to get a little bit of experience here and build on this as you go throughout the season.
I tell you, Alman had a touchdown run at Hardin Valley in the junior varsity ball game was a thing to behold. He looks like a guard running the football, but he had some nice move, knocked some people down. Wildcats have it 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Hayden has trouble with the snap, picks it up, and doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, I don't believe. It'll be 4th down facing the Wildcats, and it'll be Oak Ridge forced to punt.
Yeah, there's a couple other people that the Wildcats had in there. I believe Sean Kelly, brother of Brian Kelly. I did not know Brian Kelly had a twin, but that was his twin in there at receiver for the Wildcats. So Wildcats just looking to get out of here uninjured and move on to the next game.
Wildcats get Jacob Burvin and Preston Turner in the ball game. The Wildcats with their regular punt team in there. The Wildcats on top, 42-0. It's 4th down and long. We'll have a post-game show, player interviews. The Wildcats are going to fake it. That's Preston Turner hitting the corner at the 40 to the 35. He's got a 1st down. Across midfield he goes all the way down to the Campbell County 40-yard line. So I don't know if that's rubbing it in their face here, but Preston fakes the punt, picks up the 1st down. Something for other coaches to take a look at on film as the Wildcats have it 1st and 10. Nice run by Preston.
Yeah, it's a really nice job there by Preston. I think what he was looking at is he was more than willing to punt it, but nobody ever came out to guard him as he was just kind of rolling out, and he just continued to roll out. And once he saw that he had an opening, he used his speed to get upfield for the 1st down. We are right at 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Help me with some of these new numbers in the ball game as the offense is coming onto the field once again. 1st down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats, I'm sure, will just run the ball, although you want to get Hayden a little bit of opportunity. Pass of his entire varsity career was a long touchdown. His Wildcats are going to get called, I believe, for a delay of game as they didn't have the right personnel in. They'll have the ball at the 45-yard line. I miscalled that run by Preston a moment ago, but it'll be 1st down 15.
Some of the subs in for the Wildcats right now are Artavius Anderson at running back, as well as Justin Crowley back in at receiver for the Wildcats.
Hayden Tarwater, the sophomore quarterback for the Wildcats. 1st down, 15 yards to go. The ball at the Campbell County 45-yard line. 42-0 Oak Ridge. Here comes the handoff to Allman. Allman rumbles forward, moves the ball to around the 43. It's a gain of about 2. He's a big running back as more and more players coming into the ball game for the Wildcats.
Sean Kelly coming back into the ball game for the Wildcats, as well as Michael Darden.
It'll be for the Wildcats 2nd down, 12 yards to go. We're working it on down the final few moments. The clock is on the Jackson Square scoreboard is not working. We have a running clock here. It's been all Oak Ridge. It was 35-0 at the half. We'll have a scoring summary. We'll have Mark Stats. We'll have player interviews and Coach Joe Gaddis on our postgame show. And the big Mike Sheehan, the wild man, will be with us as well. Hayden fumbles the snap, hands it off, and Allman gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. It'll be 3rd down, and it looks like about 11 yards to go for a 1st.
Yeah, David, the Wildcats just trying to run out the rest of the clock, kind of go almost into a 8-man.
That Mandu's in the ball game, James Branson. The crowd goes nuts. Look at the sideline.
Not just the crowd, but all the players there with him. You know they love to get this guy in as we are about 4.5 minutes left.
He'll split off to the right side. Let's see if they throw the ball to him. It'll be 3rd down, 12 yards to go. Hayden Tarwater.
Jonathan Scott is Kathmandu.
And once again, he'll split out to the far right. Hayden thought about throwing it to him. He's going to roll, and he's sacked. They were looking in that direction, trying to get the ball to number 82, and he's a crowd. But look at the Oak Ridge Wildcats, and the students over there, they go crazy. They love it in practice when he catches a ball. I mean, he's one of those guys that's on the team. He's not going to get a whole lot of playing time, but he's out there, and he's a fan favorite. He's a teammate's favorite, too.
Yeah, and that's one of those guys that you just want to get excited for when he comes into the game, and obviously they all loved it, and you love to see these senior and upperclassmen that get into the game as well, and they've worked for so long to get in, and that was really cool for him.
Here come the Wildcats in with Preston Turner and Jacob Irvin. Would they dare fake it again? They're going to split out a receiver, Drew Thomas, to the left. We're almost done here. The Wildcats up 42-0. Flags are down on the play.
Delay a game here for the Wildcats as it will be backed up, so not necessarily a bad thing if you're going to punt it deep. as the punters, again, the two punters are back, Jacob Burvin and Preston Turner. You got Drew Thomas out at one of the gunner positions, as well as, I believe, Brandon Hayward out there.
And they're in punt formation. It's 4th down and an eternity for the Wildcats. Preston's going to punt it this time. Low line knuckleball kick. It's going to roll dead around the 20-yard line, and that is where Campbell County will have it. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Wildcat defense back out on the field. I'm sure we'll have a few new numbers. 42-0. That's the Oak Ridge Wild Band playing down in front of us here. The Oak Ridge students have had a lot of fun. 100 free tickets, GEM Technologies with 100 free tickets to the Wildcat students.
Yeah, it's really cool that we have community members and stakeholders that are able to come out and provide tickets and get these students out here to the game and enjoy the 4th quarter.
Luke Calhoun in the ball game for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge also with a couple new players. We'll get some of those names in, but I see Big Luke playing linebacker for the Wildcats. It'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go for the Campbell County Cougars. 3 receivers split to the right. They haven't scored a point of the Wildcats since 2018. They're trying to get down the field, and they might do it right here. They break across the 50-yard line, pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, I believe there was a hold out there that may not have been called on Brandon Hayward, but Brandon Hayward is in the ball game, as well as Drew Thomas, Justin Crowley, Darren Osborne, and I believe the other one was maybe he said.
There is a flag on the play. We're getting close to the end of the ball game here. The Wildcats in the lead, 42-0. They are going to call that hold. Good eyes there, James.
Thank you, David. Brandon Hayward's not one that gets turned very easily, and he got turned pretty well by the receiver there blocking.
It'll be for Campbell County after this. Backing it up all the way back to the 10. It'll be 1st down, 20 yards to go. The ball's at the 11-yard line. Campbell County down 42-0. They lost to Oak Ridge 40-0 last year. Cougars struggling the last couple of years in football.
Yeah, David, as I believe I see Blake Steed in there as well for the Wildcats at linebacker.
Like Hayden Tarwater's in the ball game defensively. Campbell County moving the ball forward, but not a whole lot of yardage there. Maybe 3 or 4 at most, as we're almost to the end of this ball game.
Yeah, David, a couple more of the guys that are in, Zach Snyder as well as Titan Jones.
Titan Jones has been playing some really good ball at the junior varsity level.
Yeah, and his brother, a pretty good little player for the Wildcats as well, Tajon Jones, the Secret City sniper, as it'll be for Campbell County, 2nd down and long. Ball at around the 15-yard line, and running back gets the call, and he is dropped right at the line. Good stick there for the Wildcats. Josh Luttrell in there for the Wildcats as well on the defense. So a really good opportunity to get some of your JV players in for the Wildcat fans.
And that's the final score. The Wildcats have won the ball game by a score of 42-0 as Joe Gaddis and the head coach Justin Price comes out to the 50-yard line to shake hands. The Wildcats have won 42-0 over Campbell County. Big region win, James Branson.
Great win, and you know that Coach Gaddis is going to love them bouncing back after the loss to Dobbins Bennett, being able to take something and go forward as we go into another non-region game at Farragut on Thursday.
We're going to take a break here. We'll have our post game coming up. The Fox Insurance Group of Oak Ridge post game. The Wildcats defeat Campbell County 42-0. We'll have our post game coming up. We'll take a break first. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
James Branson back down here at Blankenship Field with Jabryce Taylor. Jabryce, first start as a Wildcat, made it pretty good when you got 3 touchdowns.
Feels great to be back home and being able to get my first start, especially in a home game, and scoring 3 touchdowns.
So you started off, had a few little short runs there on the first drive, and then you started getting big holes, and especially down here as we got closer to the end zone. Talk about your offensive line and what they did for you tonight.
Coach Pratt was telling me to be patient with the trap, but whatever they were doing on defense, we were running counter, and the bounce was just open, so I just kept hitting the bounce, and it was working.
And on your last one, I thought you got in on the toss out wide, and I'm not sure what they saw or didn't see, I guess, because you basically had the student body left, and I thought you got in.
Yeah, I did too, and then the second one, I feel like they just gave it to me because I was in the first time.
How does that feel, coming back here to Blankenship, playing at a very special place, and getting your first start and having such a great game?
It means a lot. I can't wait to talk to my mom.
So next week, Coach Gaddis kind of alluded to it, one of our biggest rivals. You're playing Farragut. Farragut is, like I said, pretty good, and it's kind of been back and forth, like Coach Gaddis said. A little bit of a short week. What are you going to have to do to get ready this week?
Starts on Sunday with film. Starts next week just practicing, working hard, listening to coaches, fixing everything we messed up on today.
Now, obviously, it's not a big region game next week, but it's still another one you want to win. Talk a little bit about getting this first region victory and kind of setting you guys up for playoffs.
This was a good win for us, and really can't dwell on it. We need to move on to next week, and getting a win next week would mean a lot going to play in the West.
Jabryce, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on the great win.
Thank you so much.
We'll keep it down here as we have Jaden Williams. Jaden, playing in the secondary a little bit tonight, not so much on offense. Was that by design this week?
Yes, it was. We started this last Sunday. They told me I was going to move to safety, and ever since at practice, we've just been working it all week.
So, Jaden, you said you moved to safety. A little bit different position for you because you've been playing corner. Was that a hard switch for you?
I mean, it was a little bit hard, but the calls are basically the same. But, athletes just play the game, so that's why I just went out there and did, just play football.
So, Campbell County a little bit different from most teams that we will see in the fact that they run a lot of 5 wide and 4 wide receivers and occasionally run it. What was your preparation or your guys' preparation defensively this week?
Well, we prepped a lot and knowing they were going to pass, so we ran 3-by-1, 2-by-2, and we really just focused on the passing game. And if they ran the ball, we'd adjust at halftime, but they did what we thought they'd do, was just pass the ball a lot.
You guys were able to shut them out. How good does that goose egg, that 0 up on the board feel?
Man, it feels great, especially being on defense, just shutting people out. It just feels the best feeling in the world.
Next week is a big week for you guys, a short week, but a big week as you take on one of our biggest rivals, Farragut. What is going to have to happen this week in order to prepare for Farragut and come out with a win?
This week we're just going to have to focus way more at practice and be more coachable and just listen to what the coaches have to say to get in position.
Jaden, congratulations on the win and great night tonight.
All right, thank you.
We will keep it right here as Coach Gaddis is checking on Jaden. Coach Gaddis winning another big game in the region tonight and getting the first region victory as offense played really well, able to put up a shutout defensively, and you know that he's got to be really excited about that. As Coach, you join us now. Another shutout, second shutout of the season, and a great win, especially in the region.
For sure, major improvement offensively for sure. Because last week, just about anything would have been an improvement. That was pretty bad. But I thought offensively we improved in every category. We're not where we need to be, but we improved up front on offense. We blocked on the run a little better. We protected the quarterback better. The quarterback threw the ball better. We caught the ball when the quarterback threw it well, much better. And I thought Jabryce ran the ball very well. He's elusive. He's got good instincts. And, we did all that without Kendall Jackson. So, we felt good about ourselves offensively with the knowledge that we have to continue to get better. We're not where we need to be, but we'll have a even stiffer competition next week when we go to Farragut.
Coach, you mentioned Jabryce having 3 touchdowns in his first start. He was really excited about that. Another play that stood out to me was Jaden Elam playing really well for you in coverage as outside linebacker, having 2 interceptions and almost having another one last week.
Yeah, he's definitely got a nose for the ball, and we didn't know that about Jaden. But he's showing up in those situations, and that's nice because he, as you said, he's got 2 interceptions, could have had 3. And probably the one he dropped was the easiest one to catch. But, he's doing a good job for us against the run and obviously in his pass drops.
Well, and it's almost like they're throwing it right to him almost every time. I mean, it's like he's the intended target. Coach, special teams-wise, you having a lot of success with the pop-up kicks. You're continuing to do it and even got a turnover tonight out of that. A lot of credit to Tyler Dunham and a lot of credit to your coverage team.
Yeah, we're covering a little better. I thought early in the year, we're still early in the year, but first game I didn't think we got down there like we needed to, but we're getting a little bit better coverage now. Tyler's getting the ball up there pretty high. We're in a perfect world, we're trying to drop it somewhere around the 26, 27-yard line, maybe 25. Sometimes he doesn't kick it far enough. Other times he kicks it so high, like tonight. I don't know what they did, but they just didn't catch it, and then we got that one. So, and those things are going to happen sometimes because we're kicking it to an area where your return guy's not there unless they choose to move him over there. And but it's worked out pretty well for us so far because, we're pinning them usually inside the 30.
Coach, another big week coming up, a short week, so a little bit of a different one, but it's kind of okay because you got 2 of these short weeks, so you can have almost a normal week, I guess, at some point.
The second week will be normal when we play West after a Thursday night game, followed by Thursday. This one will be short, but we've done it in the past, and we'll miss a day of practice. Of course, they won't because they didn't play tonight. They've had 2 weeks.
Right.
A full week and then a short week to get ready for us. So a little advantage Farragut there, but we'll do our work this weekend as a staff, and then Monday's practice will be a normal Tuesday, and then Tuesday will be a normal Wednesday practice, Wednesday will be a normal Thursday walkthrough day, and then Thursday will be a Friday night game. So it'll be a little different for us, but we'll be ready to go.
Coach, you mentioned in talking to your team how special this opponent is. It's kind of a rivalry game, been back and forth. Your first win came against Farragut, so very special for you. First win at Oak Ridge, let me say. So what is it going to take this week, knowing that Farragut's a pretty good team in 6A?
Well, they are, and, I haven't seen them. I never allow myself to look ahead at a film, even though we've had Farragut film for a few days. I don't know. Traditionally, though, they're really good on offense. They've got big linemen. They have good quickness, good speed, well coached, good special teams. You just got to play a complete football game to beat Farragut. Normally, they usually don't beat themselves. I know they lost to West, and talking to Eddie Courtney, they were very disappointed because they had a couple of special teams breakdowns. I think maybe they ran a punt back on them for a touchdown and blocked a punt. He was upset about that, so I'm sure they've spent a lot of time working on special teams. I know West is really good just from who they have back, and I don't know as much about Farragut right now, but I will, in a few hours.
Coach, congratulations on the win, and look forward to speaking to you next week.
Thank you.